Alright everybody, who's ready for some ShadowDark solo RPG? I know I friggin' am, so let's get into it. How you doing everybody? My name is Eddie, and if you're not familiar with my channel, I do RPG content over here. I'm currently posting my adventures playing ShadowDark with a group of my friends, and that's the kind of thing this channel is all about, just posting gameplay at the moment of RPGs, because I love RPGs. But I won't get into no big boring backstory on me or anything, because you are here to see some solo ShadowDark RPG, so let's get into it. Alright, so the resources we're going to be using during this game is ShadowDark. Here we go. We got ourselves a card copy of the ShadowDark RPG. If you haven't played ShadowDark before, I highly recommend it. I fell in love with it since the moments I seen it. And the second main resource I'll be using is the Mythic Game Master Emulator 2nd Edition. So this is what helps control the GM side of things for the most part, right? So how this works, man, words are hard, aren't they? Alright, so this is my first time playing a solo RPG, so I'm excited to have you guys dive in on it. I've read through the Mythic rules. I think I got a good grasp on it, as well as I got the module here based in Foundry that will make this a lot easier for me as well. It does a lot of the automation and dice rolling for me, so that'll be good. And if you're not familiar with solo RPGs, essentially, real quick, I am both the game master and the player. And using these different systems, I should be able to develop a story that I don't even have a clue about. So let's just dive into it. All right, so I have nothing planned or prepped for this. The only thing I know going into it is I want it to take place in my current ShadowDark world that I'm building. And with that, so far, I've basically created a little area called the Obsidian Isles, which is like in a perpetual darkness most of the time, with only a tiny little bit of daylight every now and again. But that's where my main adventure is taking place. But now it's a solo adventure. I want it to take place on a different continent or something like that. So that's what we're going to do. And so I haven't generated anything for this continent. It's just going to be in the same world, but off to the side, so they can have their own adventures and I can build it up as we go, right? And that's going to be the fun of it all. Yeah, so all I know is it's going to be on the continent of Solera, and it's going to have like a forest type environment and, you know, cities and probably stuff like that. That's pretty much the only thing I got prepped in advance, which is pretty much nothing, just those 3 little words. So right at the gate, I was trying to decide how many characters I want in the starting party. I think I'm only going to start with 2. I was going to go with 1, which, you know, make it a little more intimate and personal, but the problem with that is it's ShadowDark and character can die like immediately, and then the whole adventure is like dead. So at least with 2, there's a chance that if 1 dies, the story can continue. But you know, we'll go with that. I was debating as well for a full party of 4, but I wanted to leave room to find more people along the way as well. So I figured 2 is a good starting point. So I'm going to randomly roll up 2 characters here now. So in ShadowDark, the way it works is essentially you can roll 3d6. So I'm going to use this program over here so you can see 3d6. I'll copy this so I can roll it multiple times. And yeah, they just go in ascending order based on the stats. So let's minimize this mythic thing here now. We will pull up PC1, PC2. All right, make sure these are all lined up real nice like. And okay, let's start with PC1 stats. And you got to go top to bottom. So it'll be like strength, dex, con, int, wisdom, charisma. So let's go. Okay. Whoops. Okay, there we go. Sorry about that, everybody. Jeez. Okay. Glitches, technical difficulties right at the gate. Okay, let's go. So. Oh, this character absolutely sucks. But unless you get a 14, you don't keep it. So we're keeping this character. Okay. What do we think of it? Okay, the stats are getting a little better now. Come on, you got to make up for it now with those 2 bomb stats at the beginning. Okay, so this first character has 6 strength. What? 5 dexterity. This is going to be nuts. Okay. Some reason, though, despite being incredibly weak and not dexterous, it has a really high con. Intellect of 13, wisdom of 11, and a charisma of 13. Okay, so now I'm going to roll the second the stats over here for the second PC, and let's see what we get. Hopefully we get something a bit different. Okay, this one got a bit of strength, that's good. Low dex, okay, we don't have a dexterous team. But again, if we don't get a 14, we don't keep it. Okay, so we're keeping this character as well. And what do we got? Alright, wait for these dice to disappear. Let's put them in. We have 12, 8, 11 con. Whoops, okay. Intellect is 15, not 150. Wisdom, 11, and charisma, 9. Okay. Whew. Let's see what we're working with here, folks. All right, everybody. So going through this now, I'm trying to look at these characters, and I'm like, okay, first one off here. What do we got? Like, something's wrong. They got such below normal strength, dexterity, but yet they're healthy. They're a little bit intelligent, a little bit charismatic, and wise. You know, just average wise. Okay, wisdom. So, what do we think with this? I'm thinking I'm going to try something new here. So I have a Into the Shadowland ShadowDark supplement by House GM. I picked this up. It was on a Kickstarter or something like that. I can't remember where I got it. But either way, they have an apothecary class in here for ShadowDark. So I figure, let's give it a shot. I've never tried this class before, but essentially what they are, potion masters, plague doctors, and mad scientists who obsess over unstable concoctions, strange liquids, odd herbs, and the secret science of alchemy. So it's essentially an alchemist and a doctor. They're like a medic and a doctor, and I think that could work. That's something different to try out. And yeah, and now I'm thinking with the other character, obviously intellect's the highest stat, and I haven't actually had to experience a wizard yet. I know there's probably a lot of people have done wizards before, but I think we should go with a wizard. What do you think? I'm gonna move so we got a bit of magic. Oh, they're gonna be a frail. They're gonna have to be awful careful. They got no fighters, no melee fighter. What they don't, the party don't have it. I got no strength and no dex, so it is what it is. We're gonna go with those two. Lock it in. What do you think? Wizard and apothecary. Alright, everybody, now that I want to make this game as random as possible, I basically have random character generator things that are going to generate some ideas for these characters. So let me pull them up here. We got PC creation. These are a bunch of tables I made myself, but this is actually just pulling upon a lot that's already in this book, as well as a couple other things that I threw in for flavor. So let's see. We'll start with the first character here on the left, the apothecary, and let's see what happens when I hit the create PC button here. Let's go. Roll it up. This is what we got for this character. We will have, let me minimize this for the time being. We have a neutral alignment, no deity. So they're not religious, they're not worshiping anything. They're a halfling male who's an adult. They kind of got a lively personality. So their background is they were a scout. So they survive on stealth, observation, and speed, which is kind of what halfling don't, right? Come on, halflings are good at that kind of thing. And a count. You might be wondering what a count is. Well, there's 100 different, or more than 100, I think, words in there to help jumpstart what their motivation would be. So their motivation is to account for something. So we'll think about that a little bit more here now as we start filling in the details of this character. But okay, let's start filling it in. Let's get some names for these characters. So we know we got a halfling. So let's head over here. I created a bunch of cool handy-dandy PC creation. And where's the character names? NPC. We go, okay, well, this will work. And let's figure out a name for this halfling. Halfling names. Let's generate a halfling name, shall we? Okay, what do we got? We got the name of this first character is Percy Shortfield. Okay, we got our first hero is Percy Shortfield. I like it. What a name for a hobbit, right? Hobbit. Well, I can call him a hobbit. Well, even though it's not Lord of the Rings, why not? Halfling, hobbit, same thing, right? Who cares? And what else do we got? We got alignment neutral. Deity is none. I guess I got to leave it blank. Background was scout. Is that an option here? All right, now we got to figure out the languages. So halfling just starts with common, and well, let's just randomly determine what other language. I got it right here. I created a table for that as well. Roll. He knows one additional language. Okay, Marin. All right, let's get that in there. Marin. Perfect. I would like to have an additional personality trait, probably 2 personality traits to go off for each of these characters. So I'm going to pull up my Mythic GM here. We're going to go down to meanings, characters, personality. And this generates 2, I do believe, automatically, doesn't it? Yeah, okay. Wary and tolerant. Okay, so lively, wary, and tolerant. Just gives a couple things to basically, you know, as a guide to how to roleplay that character. I like it. And yeah, okay. Okay, everybody, now apothecaries get to roll for a talent. So I'm going to roll that now. Let's see. I don't have this built into the system, but it is a 2d6. Let's go. 2d6. Let's see what we get. 5. Improve your medic dice 1 step. From a D4 to a D6. So just so if you're wondering what that is, 3 times per day, you can restore a D4 plus 1 hit points to a creature that you touch. Additionally, you have advantage on checks to stabilize a dying creature. So that, where's the dice? Oh yeah, so instead of a D4 plus 1, it's now a D6 plus 1. So it's an exceptionally good medic. This is good to try to keep the wizard alive, because they're both a frail team. We're going to see how this is going to go. Alright, since this is a solo game, it's going to be highly dangerous. I did initially plan to start the characters with their max HP for their class. But I guess at level 1 you get to add your con as well, I do believe. So they get a D6 per level as an apothecary, and with the +2 con, it's going to put it up to an 8. So starting off with a good 8 hit points is great for a level 1. It's actually really good. But they're going to need it because they're too... It's a wizard and an apothecary going on an adventure. So let's just see how it goes, right? Yeah, let's go. All right, let's get into some things for the PC number 2. Let's create a PC right here. Let's see what we get. We know they're a wizard, but let's get a bit of other details. What do we got? What do we got? Oh, a neutral alignment. No deity again. Neither one of them worship gods. Okay. A dwarf this time. A dwarf and a halfling. All right, perfect. Male, so we've got 2 male characters. This one is a late teenager, though. Okay, so probably around 18, 19 years old. All right. Oblivious personality. Oh, great. Their background is trader. You have connections in every village. Okay, very good. And their motivation is to spoil something. Okay, I'll think more on that in just a moment. Well, let's get this dwarf a name while we're at it. Let's go. What name we got? We got Falman Underanvil. Okay. Not really a common thing for a dwarven wizard, is it? No. But you know what? There's nothing that says it can't do it, and why not? Why can't a dwarf be a wizard? I know I like to follow traditional, like, a lot of old TSR stuff where the dwarves were stubborn and they didn't believe in magic and stuff. I'll still have some dwarves like that in this world. But, no, you can be a dwarf wizard if you want to. Why not? Now, wizards only have a D4 per level. He has no con, so he starts with 4 HP. Start him off with a bit of luck. Background, ancestry is a dwarf. Class is a wizard. Actually, I just remembered that dwarves start with +2 HP. All right, so 6. And then they get to re-roll, so they'll get a D4 per level, but get to re-roll the D4 each time to try to max it out, right? So that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Even though it's a wizard, got a lot of HP for a wizard, which is good. So these two hopefully will be able to stay alive long enough for us to actually tell an adventure here, right? All right, let's generate 2 more personality traits for Falman. So we already got Oblivious, Cold, Larcenous. Okay, interesting. All right, and we gotta expand more on their motivation is to spoil. Spoil what? We'll get into in a minute. Okay, wizards know a lot of languages. So it says here, you know 2 additional common languages. So we'll pull up common languages and we will roll and roll again. Thanian and Goblin. And it says you also know 2 rare languages. So we'll pull up the rare languages. We'll roll for those. Okay, Diabolic and Primordial. Okay. All right, let's roll for the wizard talent now. What do we got for that? 2d6. I don't have this chart put in the game yet either, so we'll have to roll. 2d6. What do we get? A 10. A 10 on the wizard chart. Learn one additional spell of any tier that you know. Whew, good, good, good. He'll take it. I'll take it. Additional spell. Okay. All right, everybody. I like to make this as random as possible. So the wizard spells. Let's see what spells Falman is going to start off with. Wizard starts with 3. But I rolled the talent to get an additional one, so 4. We'll get 4 rolls on here. Let's go. D12. 4 times. Roll. 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 And roll. What do we got? We rolled 9 twice, so I'll need to roll again. Okay, so I'll delete this 9 here. So, alright, let's have a look at what our spells are. What do we got? 9. Mage armor, okay, that's good, that's good. We're adding the spell, okay. What's the next one? 10, number 10, magic missile, good. They got some form of offense here. Glad to see these 2 spells, can't complain. What's the next one? 5, featherfall. Who doesn't like featherfall, right? Come on, how many times has that saved my life in different games? And last 11, protection from evil, always good in a harsh world filled with chaotic creatures, right? Am I right? You know I'm right. All right, everybody, I expanded on the backgrounds here. Now, if you notice, I rolled a count for Percy. So what I did with that, I looked at him, he's lively, he's wary, he's tolerant. I'm like, okay, let's see what we got. So I figured account. He feels accountable for something is where I went with this. So we got accountability, redemption. Feels a deep sense of guilt and responsibility for a past partnership gone wrong, resulting in their harm or death. So let's try to figure out. I put this as harm/death because I was like, let's ask the game. I'd say about a 50-50 chance, wouldn't you say? If whether the person that he feels responsible for was either like harmed in a really bad way and messed up their life some way, or if they died. So the best way to do that is fate question, and unsure should give it about a 50-50 chance. And so we got to answer it in a yes or no question. So I'm going to say resulted in their death. To chat, let's see. The answer is yes. Okay. So I guess we don't probably need to get into too much detail of who that was until it comes up. But here we go. So he had a partnership with somebody, kind of like he teamed up with somebody to do some adventuring in the past, and he made a mistake. It just went wrong. He made a mistake and it resulted in their death. Now his motivation is to redeem himself by using his skills as an apothecary to heal and protect what words are hard? Protect those close to him at all costs, ensuring that he accounts for his past mistakes. So this is why he's like bonded and working with Falman. This is his new buddy, his new partnership that they're working with here now. And now he's like, you know what? I lost a partner before because of a careless mistake. I'm not going to let it happen again. That's his motivation. He feels accountable. Now, over at Falman, what do we got? I looked at him and he's oblivious, he's cold, and he's a larcenist. So he likes to steal things. And he is a neutral alignment. So, and I had the word spoil, so I started thinking, and I'm like, okay, he likes to spoil himself, right? He's larcenist, and he's a wizard, and the traditional wizard trying to get as much power as they can. He's a neutral alignment, so I put all that together, spoil himself. Once a trader of fine goods, because remember his background, he was in trade, the trade field, now seeks to amass wealth and power beyond imagination. Motivated by his past successes in trading, he aims to spoil himself with riches and influence through the mastery of arcane arts, using magic to acquire treasures and artifacts from distant lands, right? There we go. They both got a nice motivation here off the start, and I got their personalities. I'm loving it so far. Alright everybody, the next episode will be here on the screen if it's available at this time. Otherwise, if you enjoyed it, be sure to hit the like button, comment down below, let me know your thoughts on the adventure, share this with your friends if you want to help this channel grow, and as always, stay in the light.